Hey, Shalom Israel. We're back with part 4 of the Sabbath Resurrection Made Simple. Today we're going to be looking at the year of the resurrection. But before we do, I want to do a quick recap of what we've covered so far. In part 1, we looked at the day of the resurrection and found out the scripture says it happened on Mia Sabbaton, which is the Sabbath, but also the first of 7 Sabbaths counting up to the Feast of Weeks. In part 2, we covered the 3 days and 3 nights. And when we count from Passover day, 1, 2, 3, 3 days, and we also have 1, 2, 3 nights, landing again on Mia Sabbaton, or the Shabbat. In part 3, we looked at the 3rd day, and we found out that the festival of unleavened bread starts on the 15th, the 2nd day is on the 16th, and the 3rd day is on the 17th. This is also the day of the resurrection. So Mia Sabbaton, 3 days and 3 nights, and the 3rd day. When did this happen in real history? That's what we're looking at today. In order to look at this, we're going to need to make a timeline. Where do we start and where do we end? The years in question. And the only way to do that is to look at a little bit of chronology and a little bit of history. So stick with me here. Caesar Augustus died on August 19th, 14 CE. And Tiberius became Caesar on that very day and began his reign in the fall of 14 CE. You may be asking, why is that even important? Well, in the book of Luke in chapter 3, it kind of links Messiah's 30th year and the beginning of his ministry with the 15th year of Tiberius Caesar's reign. So just real quick, I'm going to count from 14 CE, 15 years forward to get the start of Messiah's ministry. So I'm going to use all my hands here and count out 15 years, starting with 14 CE. So 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. So the top of our, what we're going to look at time-wise, we're going to look at 28, and we're going to go down into actually 36 CE. And the reason why we're going to use 36 CE, there's other historical information from Josephus telling us that Pilate was removed or wasn't in Jerusalem in 37 CE, and Caiaphas was removed from being high priest in 37 CE. So 36 would be basically our time frames from 28 CE all the way down to 36 CE. And I want to show you this chart here, kind of what I'm talking about. So we're looking at years in question from 28 all the way down to 36 CE. Now, I need to make 2 points here real quick. So, what are we looking for? We need to be able to figure out this pattern right here, but we need 2 pieces of information. We need to know how to figure out years, how to intercalculate years, and I can sum that up in one sentence. The festival of unleavened bread, which starts on the 15th day of the first month through the 21st, must be kept in the season of spring. Once you know that, you can intercalculate years past, present, and future. That's the first step. You got to know how to figure out years. The second thing you need to be able to figure out is when is the new moon sighted from Jerusalem. And there's technology now, whether you use Redshift, Stellarium, astronomy programs, the website tourcalendar.com, the whole site's based off that, being able to figure out spotting the new moon. And this is important because once we can know what year's in question in the moon, we can be able to figure out where Passover lands in a year. Because in the Psalms, it tells us the moon is the faithful witness. The Psalm 89, testifying to the seed of David and the throne. It also testifies not only to the birth of Yahushua Messiah, but the death, burial, and resurrection. It's interesting. Messiah was cut off on the 4th day, on the very day that the moon in Genesis 1 becomes, active for its function. So the moon testifies of the death, burial, and resurrection of Yahushua Messiah. By figuring out the new moon, we can figure out the date of Passover. Passover is on the 14th day of a month. So when we're looking at these years in question, we want to see what years do we have Passover landing on the 4th day of the week or the middle of the week. So when we look at 28, we're just going to go through these really quick. Passover landed on the 3rd day. And you'll notice that the 17th landed on the 6th day of the week, or a Friday, and that does not work. So we're going to go through these years real quick. In 29, Passover landed on a Monday or the second day. That does not work. In 30 CE, Passover landed on a Friday. That would mean the 17th is on a Monday. That would not work. 31, Passover landed on the third day. Again, that would not work. 32, Passover landed on the second day of the week, or a Monday. That does not work. 33 CE, Passover landed on a Friday, or the sixth day of the week. And again, that would not work. And in 34, Passover landed right in the middle of the week on the fourth day of the week. And this is what we were looking for with the 17th on Shabbat. And this is what we see. But we're going to keep looking to see if there's any other years in question. In 35, Passover landed on the third day. And in 36, Passover landed on Shabbat. So these also don't work. So the only year in question where the moon testifies, astronomically speaking, that the Passover landed in the middle of the week is 34 CE. This is the year right here. This is what we're looking at right here. This has our 3 days and 3 nights, or 3 days and 3 nights. It also has our third day. This is Mia Sabbaton. It mathematically adds up, and it astronomically is locked down. Now, I want to mention one other thing real quick. Now that we can see what year this is astronomically speaking, in order to have a Sunday resurrection, you would have to have a Passover on a Thursday. And when you look at the astronomical data and you look at the fifth day of the week, or a Thursday, and you just look down, you're not going to be able to find a Passover landing on a Thursday. And what this means is, from an astronomical point of view, a Sunday resurrection is impossible. You're not going to find it in real history. And also, it's not a resurrection on Mia Sabbaton. So we need to stick with the scripture, what it says. When it says the resurrection was on Mia Sabbaton, it was. When it says 3 days and 3 nights, it was. When it says the third day, it was. We can see it in real history. And when we come back, we're going to be looking at the big picture. Why? Why was Messiah cut off in the middle of the week, and on the seventh day, on the Shabbat, rose from the grave? What does it mean, this Sabbath resurrection? Till next time, shalom.